Okay, welcome to the On Your Side podcast. I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell.
We are in August.
I know.
Where is 2025 going?
Happened in the blink of an eye.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, they always say time flies and, but...
No, but it really does. I know.
Really...
My son has been in first grade for 2 weeks now. It's so fast.
The elementary school just down the street from my house, I just started seeing a lot of activity yesterday, and then I saw kids with backpacks. I'm like, oh, what?
I know.
We're starting school already?
I know.
That's what the kiddos are saying. They're like, I want my summer back.
No kidding. I want my summer back, too.
Yeah.
There is still more pool time to be had.
There is. Well, you'll be swimming through October.
That's true.
Don't worry about that. But we're talking about rental insurance. Let's just dive into this because we're talking about school, in particular college students. You got ASU starting very, very soon. And, a lot of kids are excited. They're maybe, they're just getting out of high school. They're starting their freshman year, or maybe, they're sophomore or junior already.
Lots to think about, and kind of fun for us to go down memory lane just a little bit. I'm remembering back to my time, Syracuse University senior year. I moved into an apartment with 3 of my girlfriends. And it was the dumpiest place on the planet.
But listen, that's required move-in stuff right there. If it's your first apartment, it's got to be, really.
It was something. Well, I remember my dad taking a pair of scissors and trying to scrape it across the paint that had been painted over the window, and they were painted shut. And he was like, what is this place? And I was like, this place is where all my friends live. I love it.
Yeah. And you and I were talking earlier, my first apartment, $199 a month furnished.
Oh, boy.
Lubbock, Texas.
Holy cow.
Texas Tech University.
You found a deal.
I was there 6 months. My parents came and visited me and said, we are getting you out of here. So, listen, we're going to talk about dorm living and apartment living. We're also talking about rental insurance.
Yeah.
Do you really need it? Is it good to have it? Is it worth the money? Stuff like that. So we're talking to Tez Adams. He's an insurance specialist with State Farm. I've heard of State Farm. Tez, how are you?
I am well this morning. How about you two?
We're doing well. I think you're right here in the Valley with us, aren't you?
You are absolutely correct that you guys were talking ASU and campus life earlier. I am actually in downtown Tempe on University Drive, very near the campus.
Yeah. Do you remember your first apartment?
As you guys talked about it, I laughed quite a bit because I hear the rates now that kids pay for insurance, and very similar to you guys, I remember paying under $500 for a townhouse, a 2-bedroom townhouse, to be exact, in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I remember those times.
Yeah.
I love it.
Boy, how things have changed when it comes to prices. Let's just jump right into it, Tez. Tell us, rental insurance, people in a dorm, do they need it? What does it cover? Is it a good idea?
There's a couple different caveats that go into that. And I say if they are living on campus in a dorm room, rental insurance may not be the best thing for them. But there's some caveats to that, as I said. The question becomes, are they still living at home during the summertime and other times with their parents? Because if they are, then their parents' coverage could potentially extend to the things that they have in their dorm room. And so that's always the first place that I like to start, is making certain from a parent standpoint, especially if they are on campus, reviewing those policies, making certain that those coverages would extend, because it could be that we just need to increase some limits, let's just say on personal property that is there that the kids have in their dorm rooms. And then what we can do is have the individuals take videos or photos of their property that they have there, just to make certain that we're able to then cover it under the homeowner's policy.
Let's gravitate towards apartments then. Let's say somebody says, I'm done with the dorm life. I want to live in an apartment. Remember those days, Susan?
I remember those days, and now I want to go back and live in a dorm when somebody else is cleaning.
Yes.
And the dining hall is right next door, and somebody else is cooking.
Yes.
I don't know why we rushed through that phase of life.
We had it so good, but we were so, eager to get out. First apartment. So let's talk about that. Rental insurance, good idea, bad idea, and what does that cover?
absolutely an excellent idea to have it, and it is always recommended that you have it, even if it is not required. Reason being is it covers you and those personal property items as well as your personal liability protection for yourself. And so most apartments will offer coverage, but it is typically protecting them and their property. And so you just want to make certain as you're going out and getting your first apartment that you are, as we talked about a moment ago, protecting all those things you brought with you. You probably have a computer, you probably have some headphones, a number of other electronics. You probably have an electric skateboard, some other expensive clothing items and things like that. We're protecting all of those items for you. In addition to, on the policy, typically, if you have someone in your dorm room and you guys are joshing around and someone gets injured, there's protection on the renter's insurance policy that would provide coverage for that injury as well as potentially if that individual were to get sued, there's also protection there for them also.
How much do those policies typically cost, and what are kind of some of the variables that could make them more expensive or less expensive?
Absolutely. The great thing about it, Susan, is that they are very inexpensive. Typically here in the Tempe area for ASU students, I would say in the 85281, 85288, all pretty much the Tempe zip codes. Typically, it's about $95 to $115 for the year. Typically, that's with about $20,000 worth of personal property protection coverage, all of those things I mentioned, electronic clothing, so forth and so on. Those are also, though, the factors that increase the cost or could lower that cost for you from the standpoint of how much stuff, if you will, for lack of better terms, do you have with you, and are we looking to protect? And the more that we are looking to protect, of course, it may increase that cost just a little bit. But typically, anyone in Arizona renters insurance policy, because I also recommend them for just adults that are living in apartments. Typically, you can always get them for under like $150 for the entire year with all of those coverages.
I want to throw out a scenario at you because a lot of college kids have roommates, right? There's 4 different people that pile into a 3-bedroom apartment or something. If I get coverage, if I have renter's insurance, do all of my roommates need their own policy, or does one policy kind of cover the property, that apartment?
That's why you give Tez Adams a call, because we will set you up with the perfect policy that will cover all 4 of your roommates for you. Now, when you get above the 4 roommates, there may be some limitations on the number of individuals that could be listed on the policy. But typically, as long as we're aware of who may be living there, and we always ask that question, of course, because we want everyone to be covered. But just that we include all of the roommates typically, and then make certain, again, from that personal property standpoint, that the amount of coverage that is there is actually covering for all 4 of those individuals' properties.
Not long ago, about a year or so ago, my son was renting an apartment up in Pennsylvania. He lost a very, very expensive gold bracelet that he got in Kuwait when he was in the Air Force over there, and brought it back. He lost it. It was very pricey. He was pretty upset about it, but I told him, you have a rental insurance, file a claim. He still had the receipt. He filed a claim. He got reimbursed. That's the way it works, right, Tez?
You are absolutely correct. That is how it works. We just need to be able to verify the information from a personal property standpoint, and then we're able to quickly reimburse you based upon the policy limits.
Even if you're, let's say your roommate, you don't know for sure, but something does turn up missing. My roommate stole my laptop. I can't find it, and it's because he doesn't like me or something. Stuff like that. I mean, theft is covered as well. A loss of a product, that's covered. That's a lot of coverage.
That is a lot of coverage, and you are absolutely correct. Lots of things tend to happen on college campuses that we don't often anticipate. I can remember when I was in college, I had a large jacket. I lived in the state or went to college in the state where it snowed. We don't have that here. Not to say that I miss it at all in the valley, but my coat was stolen out of my car, of all things. I was able to get it covered. And so you're right. Theft is one of those things that's covered from a personal property standpoint. And it's because I was typically wearing the coat going different places. It was covered under my rental's personal property coverage from that standpoint.
Boy, that must have been a hell of a coat, Tez.
I know, right?
Somebody wanted that thing.
I imagine they were just cold.
I just can envision you a couple years later walking across the quad and going, whoa,
That's my coat.
that was mine.
You know me very well.
Are there certain things that are excluded from this type of coverage? I know, I mean, in a lot of college rentals, some of it's furnished, so what happens if I break my landlord's couch?
There is some investigation, of course, that we would need to do, but typically, if it's your personal property and we're covering the personal property, it will be covered. If it's something that is included with the unit, as I said, typically owners have something on there as well. And we always recommend for whether it be owners of units or owners of individual property dwellings to always have coverage on there as well, because some of those coverages will come directly from the owner's policy and not necessarily from the renter's policy.
Hey, I'm going to throw a curveball at you, Tez, and ask you if, is there a crazy claim that was submitted that was covered? I mean, did somebody say someone stole my dog and maybe the dog was under the policy? I don't know. I mean, is there any crazy claims that come across your desk and you're like, wow, this is wild?
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming.
We have a number of crazy claims that come across, and one policy that I can recall, a renter's insurance policy, and the claim that came from it, it was a bit of biking equipment that had been stolen. And it was unusual from the standpoint that the person had recently decided to buy the large amount of biking equipment because they were going to go out of the country and do a tour on it. And so from that standpoint, they were really excited. They had basically everything kind of in the corner of their living room area, and someone broke in and unfortunately stole all of the things that they were going on the trip with here in the next couple of days. Fortunately, we were able to get it covered for them. Unfortunate part of it was they had to delay their trip because it was just prior to it. So unfortunate things can happen, but the bright side of that is they gave Tez Adams State Farm Agency a call. They had the proper coverages that they needed for their equipment, and they were eventually able to get reimbursed and then, of course, continue on to their trip later on.
That's perfect. You kind of mentioned it. I want to just go circle back to it. When you are moving into this new place, we got to make sure we know what's in there. If we do have this policy, what do you need us to do when we move in to prove that we have the stuff we say we have that needs to be covered?
The best thing, take a video of it. We always have our cell phones out. People are taking videos everywhere. We're doing a podcast with videos today. So very simple. Take your cell phone out. Just walk around your apartment, document everything that is in there, and then save it to the cloud. If anything happens, then we can pull it, or rather you can pull it, send it to us. We know exactly what was there, can verify exactly what may have been missing, and then quickly replace it for you. And that's the best case scenario of all, is when you can quickly document the information for us, we're able to then quickly have our claims department turn around and get you reimbursed quicker rather than later.
Well, I'll tell you what, for $100 a year, what is that, roughly $10 or $12 a month, whatever. It's totally worth it. Yeah. And just think about the things that these college kids have today that we didn't have. I mean, they're carrying around their laptops. They've got their computers, all kinds of pricey digital electronics. Yeah. It's just worth it to get the insurance. If you don't ever use it, you're not out a lot of money. So it is well worth it. Great conversation. Tez, let me ask you, if people want to find out more about you or State Farm or anything like that, where do they go?
Absolutely. They can find out more information from me first online at www.tezadams.com. They can give us a call at our office at 480-566-2733, or we'd love to have people stop by and visit us. On Wednesdays, we do Winston Wednesdays with my Golden Doodle here in the office, and we're located at 1200 West University Drive, Suite 103 in Tempe. And so if you want to come by and say hi to me, Winston, and the team, definitely feel free.
Is Winston the Golden Doodle?
That sounds so fun.
Winston is the Golden Doodle.
Oh, I may just have to stop by now just to check this.
Just to meet the pup.
Check this dog out. All right, Tez, great conversation, very educational and informative. We appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you, too. And you guys have a great weekend.
All right. Great guy. And I do want to meet this little Golden Doodle.
Sounds so fun.
Those are really cute dogs.
Yeah.
And I like the name, too, Winston.
So cute.
Anyway.
Sounds very proper.
It does, doesn't it? I really like the idea of rental insurance, and if you haven't guessed it already, I think it's a great idea. I mean, it's dumb money. It's like $10, $11, $12 a month. Who cares?
Super minimal, and I mean, you always get insurance for the things you can't afford to replace on your own if the worst were to happen, right?
Right.
So if I can't figure out a way to cover the computer, the e-bike, the whole list of things, thousands and thousands of dollars, if the worst happens, I need a backup plan. That's my backup plan.
And you're right. The e-bike, I forgot about that. Very popular. It could be stolen. If it is, it'll be covered. So
something else to consider. Let's call it homework.
Oh yeah.
Can we call it homework for the school year?
Yeah, exactly. I like it. The On Your Side podcast is produced by Brad Denny. Our audio engineer and editor is Todd Martin. Segment producer is Colin Stanton. And I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell. If you have a problem you can't resolve, maybe we can. Send us a message through azfamily.com or our AZ Family mobile app. Look for the On Your Side section and leave us a message. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Side podcast. And if you like it, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
On Your Side is on Good Morning Arizona every weekday morning at 6:45 and 7 o'clock. And every weekday evening on Good Evening Arizona at 4 and 5 o'clock. You can also catch it on Arizona's Family News at 9 on 3TV every weeknight.